This is Boomer Life on CL 650.
And think about life, think about living, think about love, sharing and giving. Drop this doomsday.
Hello, this is George Gordon, and we are talking about the spring cleanse, detoxification, how to make your life feel better by perhaps cleaning out the insides a little bit, and how you go about doing that. We have with us today from the Integrative Naturopathic Medical Center in Vancouver, naturopathic physician, Dr. Katie Leah, along with Kirsten McEwen, a registered holistic nutritionist. The Integrative Naturopathic Medical Center, long-standing center offering leading-edge and effective therapies in tune with the needs of today's baby boomers. Now, Katie and Kirsten, we were talking just a couple of moments ago about the people who are coming through the door. A lot better educated and armed with questions when they come through. Tell me about the experiences that you have been seeing as people come to seek help from you.
Well, we're certainly seeing that shift in awareness. We have a lot of people now that are coming in who have, they've already done their own homework and they've done their research. A lot of times they've even maybe tried something already. So we're seeing patients coming into the clinic who are much more engaged in their own healthcare process. They've sort of realized that they can't just, go to the doctor and just rely on the doctor for all of the solutions. They have to be an active participant.
And when it comes to knowing what's going through the mouth and through the insides, are people, telling you, well, you know what, I guess I can't be eating this because it's got gluten in it, and are they giving you the answers before you even ask the questions?
Sometimes. I'll be honest, sometimes. But yeah, I find the same thing. A lot of people who come to see me are very well informed. And in fact, last week I had a lady and she said, oh, I've been following, I can't remember what, some certain diet. And she said, have you heard of it? And I said, actually, no, I'll have to Google that. So I think, a little humility there. But yeah, our clients and patients, they know a lot. Mm-hmm. So.
And is that good? Obviously, if they've researched this and know some of the answers, it means that they're seeking to move to the next step and do something about making themselves feel better. So the acceptance is no longer an issue about what you do.
Oh, absolutely. We're really now dealing with people who are not just sort of sitting around waiting for, something to go wrong. They're really trying to push themselves on that spectrum of wellness, and they're really trying to optimize their health and wellness, even on their own. Lots of people have already, have tried special diets, they're exercising or doing yoga or they're meditating. So they've already implemented all of these strategies to make their lives and their wellness quite a bit better.
Now, when we were talking about the process when people are coming in and you're getting to know them and trying to find out perhaps what their issues are and how you can help them, it's not just you. You have quite a team that's involved with this.
We do. We've got a really big team at Integrative, and there's a reason that we have so many options available. Really, when you come into our clinic, you will not just see one person while you're there. You will be taken care of by a team of people. So we have naturopathic physicians, we have a doctor of traditional Chinese medicine, we have massage therapists, we have our own lab and diagnostic center. So we really have so many other options available. We've got a great nutrition department, which is headed by Kirsten.
I was going to say, you forgot nutrition, and I'm sitting
I got
right
it. Just save the best for last there. But we've just got this really, really great team of people, and so we find that if we try some things out, you start to feel better, but maybe you're plateauing, or maybe there's other therapies or supports that are really important. We can provide those under one roof, and certainly we do a lot of communication between practitioners, and we find that that's just really helpful for proper integrated healthcare.
I was going to say, I think we truly are integrated in that way, like you just mentioned. We're not just a bunch of people who do different things under one roof. We actually talk to each other about patients that come in, and we, discuss, hey, do you think this would be better for so-and-so, or what do you think about this? So I think we're really lucky that way, that we have a team that really, gives a collaboration with regards to your healthcare.
Well, this must have evolved over time that, this is part of it and that's another part of it, so you can put it together in one clinic. You mentioned something that I thought was very important, that the problem of hitting plateaus often in other diets where you don't have guidance or some expertise helping you along, is that, oh man, I haven't lost a pound for 3 weeks now. Oh phooey, back to doing what I was doing. So, is it important to understand that really it's baby steps? You don't just launch into this thing, and it's not going to all be fixed inside of a couple of weeks, and that the cleanse, whenever you're going to do it, you really have to plan this out over the course of time.
Oh, absolutely. And a lot of work that we do with people is working up to doing the cleanse, and then of course support during the cleanse, but then that discussion about, okay, what next? Because, for a lot of people, it's not about doing this 2-week cleanse and then, all right, see you later. There are steps we then have to take to make sure that that success is continued.
When we talk about the cleanse, and I think we've touched on this before, but I think it's important to understand, when we cleanse, what are some of the things that we are getting out of our system?
Well, certainly, we're always looking at getting toxins and waste products out of our system. In addition to that, there are a lot of people who have inflammatory conditions, things like arthritis, even sort of digestive inflammatory conditions. So we're really trying to also remove inflammation from the body.
Can you give me an idea what a toxin is? I always think of toxin as something that you spread on lumber to keep it from rotting, but it's dioxin, I know. But what are the actual substances or evils that you're getting out of your body when you detox that?
Pesticides is a huge one, and I mean there are a million different pesticides, but certainly, pesticides and fertilizers and other things used in agriculture. We also have like pollution, so
environmental pollutants is a big one.
Car fumes and.
Heavy metals is another one that seems to be an interesting topic of conversation. We're exposed to lots of different metals in our environment. Those are things that we're trying to also get out of our system as well. And from a hormone balance perspective, this could be a whole other topic on its own, but there are lots of chemicals and substances that act as hormone disruptors as well. And there's a wide variety of chemicals and plastics and things like that have that effect on the body.
How do we survive? I mean, when it can be a little daunting, even frightening to understand what we're taking in, and probably there is a wider variety and more of it over the last few years. We thought that when we got lead out of gasoline, there was a lot. I don't know how we as a society survived when you consider what the effects of lead are known to be. Smoking is decreasing. The amount of carcinogens and stuff that's in the air. I mean, do we have any idea just how bad it can be out there, or is it just the degree that it affects different people?
I think our biggest thing is we don't want to scare anybody.
Right.
We definitely, most people can improve in that department and reduce the amount of toxins that they're exposed to. But certainly, you win some, you lose some, I guess is what I'm getting at. And kind of what I suggest for people to do if you're doing it in kind of a slow and steady way is, for example, use whatever soap you have at home. And then the next time you need soap, maybe do a little bit of research and find one that has less toxins or is made with more natural ingredients. Or, next time you need shampoo or
cleaning supplies,
window cleaner or whatever it is. So use what you have. You don't have to throw everything away and just start completely from scratch.
And in addition to being conscious of where some of these things are in your environment, we can modify some of it. Some of it we have no control over at all. So all we can do in that case is just give our body that extra bit of support that it needs to deal with the effect of pollutants and toxins in our environment.
Man, I'll tell you, this is pretty important stuff. We've talked about taking some of the foods out of our diet to help detoxify, and drinking water. Is there some magic potion that somebody's going to ask you about or something, a proper additive that can help flush things out of your system?
There certainly are a lot of questions about, are there supplements, are there herbs, are there other things that I can take to encourage this process? And, there are lots of, if you go to a health food store, there are tons of, sort of boxed cleanses that are available for purchase. Some of the things that we always consider are, do you need anything to, keep your digestive system moving, just to encourage proper digestion and elimination? Do you need supports for some of the major organs of elimination, including maybe liver and kidney and skin and lymphatic? So we do consider other supports. There are supplements and herbs and homeopathics and all sorts of things that can sort of encourage that process.
Well, I think it's important that we go over some of the points that we've been talking about here so far today, and then for people who can maybe help put the picture together a little bit, and if you have more questions, we're going to steer you into the right direction, and that can start with going to integrative.ca. This is very important. I mean, this is how you can help yourself by getting a little consultation on perhaps what you're eating, what you're taking into your body, the things that are accumulating that you should get rid of. We'll talk about how long a cleanse should last, and how many times a year perhaps we could do that, and we'll get right to that on Boomer Life on CIL 650 with naturopathic physician Dr. Katie Leah and Kirsten McEwen, registered holistic nutritionist with Integrative Naturopathic Medical Center. This is CIL 650.
Celebrating the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life on CIL 650.